guys, Jeho here. Welcome to my channel. And some of you who already watched my previous video, thank you for coming back. So today I'm gonna show you how to install 240mm size cooler onto the system, which I already did with my Intel version of Oman 25L, but this time I'm gonna go more details so you can actually do these things together with me. And this time I'm gonna do without removing the motherboard. Okay, so I laid out PC and let's explain what are the steps that we need. And these are the fans and coolers that I prepared. I bought the same series so you can have same look and feel. And we need to remove some parts. So we need to remove the front bezel, and this is the bracket that holds 100mm cooler, but I'm gonna show you how to handle 240mm. And probably we have to remove this one to uncover the top bezel. And the one other thing I'm gonna do is, obviously we need to remove this stock CPU cooler, right? And also I'm gonna upgrade the case fan, right? So case fan, I'm gonna use this one. I'm gonna replace this one with this one. Okay. All right, and probably there are some parts that I need to remove, but let's see as we do this together. And let me take a look on the cooler that I got. So I got the Cooler Master one, ML240L. So this time I bought RGB one, which comes with RGB controller, and it says it has bigger increased surface area. So this Oman 25L support RGB but not ARGB. The one that I installed in my Intel version, I installed ARGB version, and I have to use this ARGB controller and download the software. And to be honest, I didn't like it because I just don't want to put like any external devices into my system, right? So that's why I bought RGB version this time, because Oman 25L support the RGB version. Okay. Inside is pretty much same as the one that I introduced in my previous video. The only difference is this time I'm installing this on AMD version, right? And the fan looks the same as the one that I got for the case fan, right? Yep, so fan looks good, and it has the radiator, the ejector is the same. It comes with sockets that can handle Intel and AMD sockets. And it has some variation of the screws that you need to use to hold to connect the devices together. Yeah, and this time or is AMD. So okay, seems like AMD is simple. I just need to change installations clips, and I just need to hold by using clips. Okay, so it must be simple. And what else we need to do? Okay, so there's one more thing that I want to do. That is, I'm going to use this one and replace with the rear ventilation fan. The reason is simple. The rear ventilation fan does not have RGB. Okay. So I laid out all the stuff in here. So this is RGB 4-pin. It has a little arrow. When you plug in, you just need to make sure the arrow goes into the arrow, and has an extension. So you can connect two RGB connectors together and put one connector onto your motherboard, right? And as I said, see here is a little arrow, right? Make sure that arrow comes together and they face each other, okay? And the another connector that you will see is this one, and it look like this. So see the one with the 4 pins with the gold colors, that's RGB connector, but the other one is what we call PWM connector. So this is the connector that controls the speed of fan. So each RGB fan has 2 connectors. If you look at the motherboard, you know, it looks complicated, but this one is the PWM controller. So it is connected to fans, and it controls the fan speed. And once we connect right, this fan speed can also be controlled by Oman 25L's native software. Okay. And this one, the rear ventilation fan, also has this PWM, but obviously does not have RGB, right? That one we need to figure out how to travel this RGB connector all the way to this bottom once we switch this fan between CPU one and the real one. So the one you see in here at the very bottom, so this is the main RGB controller area. So I tried it several times, only this one works. So you need to make sure that you put the RGB connector to the very first one, right? And so the challenging part is we need to, you know, travel this connector back to the case and do some cable management and bring it down to here. So that's going to be a little bit challenging, but it's not so difficult. You know, sometimes it's good to look at your system and, you know, figure out, you know, how it works. Okay. And I installed this clip for AMD, so it's pretty simple. You just need a screwdriver and then put it in. Yeah, things are ready. So we're going to install like this. You know, if you install the other way around, the space does not fit. So the line part, you know, make sure you face the back. And we're gonna put these 2 fans. Make sure the don't get confused with the upper side and downside. So this is how it's supposed to be look like. Okay. So before begin with, let's do something that is easier first. So I'm gonna install fans onto the radiator by using these pins. Yep, I just did, and I didn't even need screwdrivers for doing this. So I'm gonna remove this CPU fan and front bezel, right, and remove this one. Okay. And what else do I need to remove? This top bezel, right? Okay. And in order to remove this top bezel, you need to remove this the front cover. Okay, and this one is the bracket, right? And this is the one that we need to tune a little bit when you install 240mm fan back. So this screw that you see is installed from the inside to the outside, right? So after removing the cover, you need to install this from outside to inside. Okay, so that's what we need to do. So I removed the screws for the cover or the front bezel, whatever you want to call. There are clips. You just need to unclip those and pull it. But you need to be careful. This is actually connected to one of the lighting controlling system to the motherboard. So just pull out gently and see where the line goes, and you need to unplug this. So just gently shake a little bit and unplug. Okay. If you mess up with this one, probably you lose lines for the front cover or front bezel. Okay. Gently, nicely, and not a difficult job at all. And let's put this in some safer place. Okay. Okay, and the next thing we want to do is to remove this top bezel, and in order to do that you need to remove this side cover. This side cover is actually holding the top bezel, and removing this side cover is not difficult. There is one bolt. You just need to unscrew this, and that's it. So I just took the screw out, and I just need to slide towards to back with a bit of force, and here we go. So now the side panel is removed. Okay, and let me put this in a safer place. Yeah, now you can see all the cables, and we need to do this cable management at the end. So the top bezel you can remove by using a bit of force to slide in, slide out, but it's difficult in the beginning because it has the connectors that is actually holding the top bezel. So and we want to remove this USB and sound module. It's not difficult. So there are two pins that you need to unconnect. I mean, two screws that you need to unconnect. So one in here, the other one inside. Okay, you just need to unscrew. And there's another one at the very front. So there are three screws that you need to take things out. So I just did, and just use your fingers and just gently pull down, and here you go. So I just removed this USB module, and oh, it just popped up. So this is how you remove top bezel. Okay. Now you see this screw that is from inside to outside, right? So this is something we want to do reverse, because once you let's see here. So once you install the cooler, you cannot screw in this, because screw is going to be blocked by the cooler that you install, right? So we're going to remove this and tune a little bit. Okay. There are two screws that you need to remove. So first thing is you just need to remove this bracket, and let's do it. So I just removed this bracket. You install cooler in here, and you install the bracket and cooler together onto the system. The funny thing is, I don't know why, but this bracket has some unnecessary piece. So I need to remove this rectangular stuff, which is redundancy. And these are the pins that I'm going to use. So it's the same pin. It's quite common pin that is used for PC assemblies, but the size is a little bit different. I'm gonna use the smaller one, and I don't know the exact name of this, so I'm gonna put the link so you can click and check in Amazon. Okay. So the whole idea of doing this is how we can hold this bracket from outside in. So I just put the screw like this. It should look like this. Okay. So the next step is installing bracket. The bracket, you need these types of screw, which is already included in this Cooler Master package. I just did. It should look like this, okay? And this is how you're going to install and hold this bracket from the outside in, right? Okay. So let me remove the remaining parts. Okay. So this CPU cooler, I need to unplug this PWM and so on. So I just unplug PWM controller, and another one is this RGB, which is like connected to very bottom of this motherboard. I just need to pull it gently and can remove it. So I just did, and also I'm going to remove this chassis ventilation fan, this one. Okay. And I'm going to install this RGB one that comes with a stock cooler. So I need to connect this RGB to the bottom. Okay, so I just switched these two fans. As you can see, I installed the big one, and I put PWM here, and also RGB will come here. Okay, the cable management I'm gonna do at the end. So this one I switched to the stock cooler, comes with CPU cooler, right? And I found an interesting problem, that is this Oman is not using AMD socket, so there's no clip that I can hold my cooler into, you know what I mean? So I figured that in terms of this width and size, this normal one designed for the Intel might work for this. Okay, so I'm going to use this clip, and also I'm going to try the several versions of screw that comes with Cooler Master's this liquid cooler package. And in terms of width, it all fits. I think this problem is the height of the screw, so I need to find the right one. Okay, so I just changed the clip to this Intel one. It's funny that I'm going to use Intel this clip, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to test if the surface of the CPU and the copper plate makes contact or not. Otherwise, I cannot even use these Intel types of clip, right? And if it fits, I just need to screw in and hold it together. So I just did the testings, and it makes a good contact. So all I needed to do is just screw this thing and make sure it holds together. But the problem is the one that I was trying to use, this one is too thick. The height is too tall, I would say. So it does not fit. So what I'm gonna use is the universal CPU cooler screw that I bought from Amazon. This one, I'm gonna put the link in my video. So this one is a little bit longer. If you look at another YouTube, some people ask to cut it, but you don't need to cut it, you know. You just need to put 1 or 2 washers. I put 2 washers in here, and the height was working perfectly. Okay, so I just installed this radiator by using the screw that we prepared, you know, from, remember that, from outside in, right? And all I need to do is this cable management. Now I have this RGB cable and PWM, and now I installed like 4 RGB actually, right? So I need to do these cables and make sure there are 3 PWM, and I install correctly, so my PC can automatically control fan speed, chassis intake speed, and ventilation speed. And the other thing is that, you know, we have these 2 fans here, right? So it means we have 2 PWM controls, but in our motherboard we only have 1 pin that we can put. So you need to use this Y splitter and connect with these 2 fans and put on this PWM controller. And this Y splitter comes with this Cooler Master package, so you don't have to purchase it separately. So I just finished installing this pump head by using 4 screws that I just mentioned, and it was a little bit longer, so I didn't cut or did anything. I just put 2 washers per each screws, and it worked perfectly. Okay, it's very easy to install. So once you've done this far, all you need to do is, you know, finalizing this cable management. Make sure that, you know, your pump does not need a PWM controller, so you just put it into the CPU and fan controller. Okay, so that's it, you know. This is the end of my video actually. Let me show you how it looked like. So let's take a look. I took this video by using my phone, and as you can see, it's RGB and the color that changes together, and it's all controlled by Oman's native app. So, you know, like, if you don't really know about how I did this, you will think this is a complete one built-in PC model. The fan speed is automatically controlled by the motherboard, you know, and no additional application we need to install. The color of this RGB, look at this, it looks gorgeous, and it's all controlled by the Oman's native application. By the way, I have one other content to show you today, which is going to be very helpful for you, especially, you know, if you want to know what gear that I used. This is the water cooling block screw that I used. With this, you don't need to uninstall your motherboard from the case. Okay, so please get this one. And the next one is this screw set. So in here I used washer and other screws to test these chassis tunings, and I was using the one they called conventional chassis fan screw to do that inside out stuff to hold the mount that holds coolers. Okay, so I think if you are interested in doing these chassis tunings like I do, this kind of item is something that you must have. Okay, so please consider getting one from Amazon. Okay, so this is the end of my video. I hope you loved it, and I hope it was really helpful for you to upgrading your PC. Okay, so please stay tuned, there are more videos to come. Okay, and please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys, see you soon, and have a wonderful day. Bye bye.